Juice Wall Productions.
What's up, guys? This is Dylan from Juice Wall Productions. I'm here today with Coil Creeps. What are we gonna do today?
Today we're gonna install a set of fuse Claptons on the iJoy Limitless Plus RDTA Velocity style deck. So pretty much good install video for any Velocity decks, and also show you wicking on RDTAs.
Let's get to it.
Alright guys, so you got your set pre-made coils. Just some fuse Claptons by Coil Creep. 228 gauge cores wrapped in 38 gauge. These would be a 7 wrap. Usually come out to about 0.25 to a 0.3. Awesome regulated vape. Great for these RDTAs like the Limitless. Good flavor, clouds, all that good jazz. So when you get your when you get your Coil Creep package, they will be in a corked bottle with a nice little pull tab. And this pull coils fall out.
Sparkle, sparkle.
So, first things first, we're going to start with our Velocity style build deck, Limitless iJoy. This is basic build for any Velocity style deck also. Almost all Coil Creep coils come around a 3mm rod, so I'll also be using the Coil Master V3 kit. This one's a V2, haven't upgraded yet. Take your 3mm rod and your Coil Creep coils. So first thing I do for any Velocity style decks is the coils should come pre-bent, but what I like to do for a Velocity style deck, since one hole is lower than the other, I will give the left lead an L bend at the bottom and the right lead an L bend where it comes up at the top. End up with something looking like that. And you have one that goes straight into the top hole, one that goes straight into the bottom hole. Becomes a lot easier then for your dry burning. I also install the first coil. Take your wire snips, get that coil all pressed in where it would be. And snip both leads. I always make sure to clean all my leads up because stepping on leads hurts worse than a Lego. Boom, pull that coil out and set aside. The second coil I've already pre-bent for time's sake. Same concept, L bends, one higher, one lower. This coil you can install just like you would any Velocity deck. The high L bend goes into the top hole on the left post. Low L bend goes into the low hole on the right post. In this coil, you can pull my leads through first. In this coil, I will tighten down before clipping since we've pre-clipped our first coil. That is the beauty of the Limitless RDTA titanium Phillips head screws. Only thing that still sucks about half RDAs is side screws, but at least the Limitless made it easier with Phillips head. want your leads tightened down until they're snug. With bigger beefy builds like this, you should never have to worry about the screw clipping the lead. Clip both of your excess leads. Pull your rod out. Grab your first coil that you clipped. Turn it around and insert your leads into the opposite holes. Top L bend into the top left hole. Bottom L bend into the bottom right hole. And you should not have to worry about having to clip any excess leads since that was already done. That's why I do it that way. And you don't have 4 leads sticking out all kinds of weird directions, having to try and clip around your coils and possibly messing up your coils. Clipping one coil at a time works a lot better, especially for old 3-post RDAs, 4-post RDAs. So continue tightening down. Last and final lead until all leads are tight. And the joy of velocity style decks is you will start to get a small twist in your coil, which can be fixed when you dry fire and pinch with the ceramic tweezers. Next, I will grab regulated device, preferably. A lot safer to work on. You can control wattage if you want to get color out of your nichrome coils, especially these more advanced, fancier builds. That's in a whole nother video. Alright, once your Addy is screwed onto a mod, battery's out or the device is off, safety first, I always take my rod, and the joy of the Coil Master rods is they have a small nub at one end which works for a perfect flat surface to push the coil into position. I get one finger on each end of the coil, give a little lift up, and pull to the center. It's not going to perfectly center it right off the bat, but it's going to bring it to about where we need and make it a lot easier for when we use our ceramic tweezers. Repeat for the second coil. Just grab it, give it a little push over. Center the coils, and ceramic tweezers. Always use ceramic tweezers. You can hold the coil while you're firing with ceramic tweezers. If you hold the coil with metal tweezers or anything else metal while you're firing, you will short your mod, and it is not fun. I start usually between 30 and 50 watts. Get a small amount of heat going first. I start seeing it come through. And just slowly start pinching the coils. So once you have everything aligned, firing correctly, it should fire from the inside of the coil to the outside. Just like so. Inside to the outside. Next, before wicking, I always take my screwdriver and give it one more once over. Make sure all the leads are down. Some of the adjusting of the coil can loosen some screws and mess with your resistance. even height and begin wicking. The wick we'll use today is the Native Wicks Platinum. Take the coil cotton and split it in half down the center. Ends up being just about right for each coil. You want to try and handle your cotton as minimal as possible, especially towards the center where it will be sitting inside the coil. So I take one end, give it a good tight squeeze and a roll, and slide it through. Now you want your cotton to be tight, but not so tight that it'll pull your coil completely when you go to move it side to side. You don't want it too loose that it just flosses the coil, or it will not hit right either. If it's too tight, it won't wick juice. If it's too loose, you'll pretty much burn the coil, and that's what you'll taste. Next, you'll need your scissors. First thing I do is pull the cotton down, and I look to about the halfway point on an RDTA's stem. Some people will put their cotton all the way to the base. Takes up more room and you won't be able to have enough juice, and also most of the time the cotton will not wick efficiently. So I make it so it comes about to the end of the cap, which is normally about halfway down the barrel. So next up, I take whatever juice we're wanting to use, which today will be some Ripe Vapes key lime cookie deliciousness. And to help get the cotton to stay in place, I will saturate a tiny bit of each section of wick. The juice just works as almost a glue then to hold it in place. So you can screw the cap down and the cotton will not get stuck in the cap and twist with the cap, because with these RDTAs that have a twist on cap, sometimes the cotton will get stuck and mess your whole wick job up when you screw that section down. Take your cap, it should thread on without grabbing. If you notice it starts to grab any of the wick and pull it, stop tightening it down then and retuck your wick just so that it does not mess your wick job up. And finish applying a good amount till the rest of the wick that is showing is saturated. Saturate the coils pretty well. Give a few 2 to 3 second hits of the button. That'll help spread the juice throughout the cotton. Also start breaking the cotton in. And the joy of the Limitless and newer RDTAs is the fill hole.
Alright, so that is the Limitless all set up. Thanks to Coil Creep here.
Come get creepy. Front Range Vapor.
Newest member of Front Range Vapor. Woo!
One of the only shops in Colorado that can do builds for you right now. And yeah, keep vaping.
Change tastes good. Join the revolution.